സ്നേഹമുള്ളവരെ, ഇന്നത്തെ നമ്മുടെ പേരൻറ്റിങ്ങിൻ്റെ ക്ലാസ് ആരംഭിക്കുകയാണ്. ഒരു ചെറിയ പ്രാർത്ഥനയോടുകൂടെ ക്ലാസ് ആരംഭിക്കാം. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Your kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit.
As it was the beginning, is now, and ever shall be,
the world without end.
Amen.
സ്നേഹമുള്ളവരെ, ഇന്നത്തെ ക്ലാസ്സിന് നേതൃത്വം നൽകുന്നത് ടോമച്ചനാണ്. നിങ്ങളെ പ്രത്യേകം അച്ഛനെ പരിചയപ്പെടുത്തേണ്ട ആവശ്യമില്ല. ഈ വിഷയത്തിൽ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും വളരെ ആധികാരികമായിട്ട് അനുഭവം കൊണ്ടും അറിവ് കൊണ്ടും പറയാനായിട്ട് കഴിയുന്ന ആളാണ്. ഒത്തിരിയേറെ കുഞ്ഞുങ്ങളുടെ വിഷയങ്ങളൊക്കെ അച്ഛൻ കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ പേരൻസിനെ സഹായിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ആ രീതിയിൽ നമുക്ക് ഉപകാരപ്രദമാകുന്ന രീതിയിൽ അച്ഛൻ ക്ലാസ്സുകൾക്ക് നേതൃത്വം നൽകും. നിങ്ങളുടെ എല്ലാവരുടെയും പേരിൽ ഒത്തിരി സ്നേഹത്തോടെ സന്തോഷത്തോടെ ടോമച്ചനെ സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു.
Thank you, Thomas Achan. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this session. I'm very happy that we had two wonderful sessions last 2 weeks, and I know that many of you have benefited a lot from those presentations on good enough parenting. Father Paul was very effective in communicating what is parenting. Today we are going to continue that journey that we have begun 2 weeks ago. We are going to reflect on parenting. Before we get there, I just want to thank you, my dear parents, for being parents. It's a noble task, but it's a challenging task. If I stand here today, it's because of my parents and their sacrifice. So all of us are there because our parents have done so much in our life, and it's something beautiful to be a parent. But then sometimes it can be very challenging as we journey through life with our kids, with our children. Our focus will be the tweens. This term may be quite new for many of you. Tweens. It's not a typo. It's what I meant. Tweens. This is a word that combines two terms. That is between and teenager. Between and teenager. That means between the childhood and teenage time, there's a time that is called a tween. That's an approximately age between 8 to 12. So the kids no longer want to be called a child at this time. At the same time, they are not yet, teenagers. So that is a time. It's a time of challenge for the children as well as the parents. Time of changes, physical and emotional changes. This period is also known as pre-adolescent stage or pre-teen stage or tween, as I said before. So this is a time of turbulence, this is a time of change, and many parents find it hard to accept what comes from these kids at this time. So far they were wonderful kids, now suddenly what happened to my child, you wonder sometimes. So we need to explore what is happening with them so that we can respond to their need more effectively. So boys and girls who have not developed secondary sex characteristics, that's the time. That's a pre-pubescent time. So these tweens, sometimes they have obtained puberty, sometimes they have not. So this can vary from individual to individual. In some individuals, the puberty begins before pre-adolescent stage. Studies show that onset of puberty has been 1 year earlier with each generation from 1950. So olden time, people used to think that, okay, at the age of 13, one is obtaining puberty, or 14, then it became 12, became 11, 10, now even 8, or even earlier sometimes it can happen occasionally. So, but then we will deal with those things later. What we will cover, not today, during our time, our sessions will be tweens' physical development, cognitive development, emotional development, twins' interest and tastes, thirsts and aspirations, common habits and behaviors, and how to deal with the challenging behavior of spirited child. Spirited children are very difficult to handle, and you'll have one or two sometimes at home. Today, we will deal with these things probably in the coming sessions, but then today what I would like to do is to go to the basics. Let's go to the basics, because without that we can't proceed. Some of the things basic about parenting, that is very important, I believe. So let's go to the basics. Every human being is capable of dreaming. All of us have dreams in life. You all have dreams, right? I had dreams. I have dreams. You have dreams. There's a song now, I have a dream. So we all have dreams. Once one wife had a dream, and she came to her husband and said, my sweetheart, I had a dream last night that you are going to give me a diamond necklace as a gift for my birthday. Husband just heard this one but did not respond. After 2 days, she came again and said, a very strange thing happened. Same dream came back to me again, I had a dream, the same dream that you gave me a diamond necklace on my birthday. Husband nodded. And then it was the birthday, and husband wanted to give her a gift anyway. So he came with a gift in his hand and handed that over to the wife. A square gift, nice. She, with a lot of expectations, opened the gift and found a beautiful book by Sigmund Freud, Interpretation of Dreams. Okay, so dreams we all have. All of us have dreams. We all have desires. We have aspirations. Man is a dreamer, and we need to dream. APJ Abdul Kalam said we need to dream. We all dream about a family where there is a lot of love, there's a lot of sharing, there's peace, and children, beautiful and wonderful kids. So this is a dream of every individual, every human being. Abdul Kalam, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam said, dream, dream, dream. Dreams transform into thoughts, and thoughts result in action. We need to dream. We need to dream big, he said. Dream is not something that you see while you sleep. A dream is something that does not let you sleep, he said. I just wanted to add something with what he said. Though I'm not worthy to add anything to what he said, I would like to continue this journey, because dream transforms into thoughts, and thoughts result in action, and action gets you to the reality that you dream about. So if you dream of a good family, if you dream of a healthy family, if you dream of a happy family, and if you are willing to work hard towards that, you will get there. You will have a happy family. That's a guarantee that I can give you with a lot of experience I have with a lot of couples. So here, all of us had this dream, having a nice house. When you came from India, you probably lived in a rented house. After some time, when you were able to buy a house, you bought a house. After some time, you thought, I need to have a better house. This is a dream that all of us are having, a nice house. It's wonderful to have a house, and we should work towards that. And you probably have obtained that already, some of you are still working on that. A house can be built with the bricks and beams, but a home is built with the love and dreams. A home is built with the love and dreams. I can build a house if I have money, but then house and home, that is different. That is with a lot of love and dreams we build this house. You had a dream when you were young. You dreamt of a wonderful spouse. I don't know, the spouse that you got matches the dream that you had. If it does not match, you have to change yourself and change your dreams. So the dream of a wonderful spouse, I want to have a spouse who is loving and caring, who is nice to be with, pleasant to talk to. That's a dream everybody has, every male or female, every individual has a dream of a nice person to be the spouse, right? Sometimes we succeed in finding such a person. Sometimes we are challenged in that area, but then our dream is still dream. So when you came to the church and got married, you have given a blank check of your life to that person, your spouse. With a lot of unknowns there, you have given yourself and you started this journey together. Yesterday I was listening to a homily by a priest. He said 3 things about marriage. He said marriage is exclusive. That means nobody else can be in there. It's between you and your wife. And then it is unbreakable. Indissolubility of marriage, we know. Unbreakable and open to life. That means if God allows you to have children, yes, you welcome them. That's the beauty of our life. So, when you got married, it is to share your life and love with this person, and again to bring forth the wonderful children that God is going to give you. And that is the responsibility and a privilege to raise children, because you are sharing in the work of God. You become a partaker in God's work of creation, as well as you take care of the child, and God is the one who takes care of the whole world. So you are sharing the work of God by becoming a parent. So this is something beautiful that we need to understand. When you do a lot of things to be a parent, a husband and a father or a mother or a wife, you are taking part in the work of God. Before going into all the psychological and the scientific things, I would like to have these basic things getting into our mind very thoroughly, because that is the foundation without which we cannot proceed. Your parents have a dream now. They had a dream about a house, they had a dream about a wife. Now the dream is about having a baby. And once you have the baby in the womb, then you have a dream how this child is going to be. This will be a wonderful child, beautiful child, loving child, lovely child. So a lot of dreams are there. So here, I want to have a perfect child. That's the kind of dream many people have. Then we learned from last 2 classes, there is no perfect child in this world. There is no perfect parent in this world. We can be good enough parents and we can have good enough children. Okay? So here, our dream is to have this family where kids are able to say, Father and Mother, I love you. All the time you hear from them, I love you. That's a nice thing to do, nice thing to happen. We want to have this kind of family. And, on the Father's Day, your daughter will hug you and say, Dad, you are the best dad in the world. And it makes you really happy when you hear that. Or, Mom, you are the best mom in the world. Wonderful things to hear. But then sometimes what happens, it's not come that way all the time. We get this experience also from kids. Dad, I hate you. I wish if only you were dead. Sometimes if you hear that, don't wonder. If you have not heard that, please wait. It's a matter of time. It can happen. It happens because this is part of that journey that they are making. And sometimes they can be upset with you. And particularly, I'll speak about the spiritual children later. May not be today. So if you have a spiritual child, then you're going to hear many things like this. Does not tell anything about you or your parenting. Don't get frustrated if children speak this way. Don't think that you are a failure as a parent. So I just want to warn you about that. Many parents have come to me telling that I'm a failure as a mother, as a father, because my child is behaving this way. Do not personalize, I would say, of the behavior of the children. Don't personalize. Don't think that you did something bad, that's why this is happening. No. I'll get there when we are there. So we all want to hear this nice thing about ourselves and about others. You are the best mom. How nice to hear that. And we all want to be that best dad and best mom for our children. And children want also, my dad is the best dad. My mom is the best mom. They want to be able to say that. In order to say, we also have to make effort to be that person, that best mom, that best dad that my child is dreaming about. Children have dream also. Just like we have dreams about children, they also have dreams. They also have a need, and they also deserve a parent, a father, a mother who is loving and caring, understanding and supporting. Okay? So that is very important. Okay. Sometimes we can see eyes rolling when you talk to children. Again, don't lose heart, don't lose hope at that time. Okay? It can happen, it happens. So that is not the end of the world. Princess Diana said, family is the most important thing in the world. And I believe that many of you would agree to that. Family is very important in our life. That is the center of your world. That is a world for you. Center of your life. Your family, after that only everything else, right? Your family, your wife, your husband, your children, that is the center of your life. That is the reality of our life. So that is true when Diana said that family is center of the family. So family is the most important thing in our life. And family is a full-time job. It is not a part-time thing. Okay, I am here in the family for some time, the rest I am somewhere else. No, it's a full-time job. It's a total commitment. Once one pig and a hen had a conversation about the breakfast that they were going to have the next day. Pig asked, what shall we have for breakfast tomorrow? Hen said, okay, let us have egg and ham for breakfast. Pig said, yeah, that's a wonderful breakfast, egg and ham. Then suddenly Pig thought, what did you say? Egg and ham. He said, no. Laying egg is only an involvement for you, but then giving ham is a commitment for me. I had to die for that. So I don't want to do that. So family is not just an involvement, it's a commitment. So parenting is not an involvement, it's a commitment. It is a self-giving. You're giving yourself there in the process of parenting. So it's a total commitment. That's why it's not very easy. Now our topic is effective parenting. Who is an effective parent? Effective parents are people we think sometimes raising happy and successful children. They are effective parents. Yeah, that's part of effective parenting, happy and successful children. But that is not the only thing. Effective parents are parents. There is no child, I said, without any misbehavior or mistakes in life. If I have a child without any mistake, always doing the right thing, then I'm an effective parent, then you are never going to be an effective parent. There is no child without mistake, without misbehavior. Effective parent is the one who recognizes the mistakes and failures are inevitable part of a child's growth process. That's first thing. When a child makes a mistake, don't think that the sky has come down. This is a part of his life or her life journey. This is through these mistakes that they will grow. I have made mistakes. Just like me, my child also will make a mistake. And through that they will grow. So, effective parent is the one who is able to recognize that making mistake, having failures is an inevitable part of growth and life journey, first thing. And effective parents use the time of misbehavior of the child as a teaching tool and a learning opportunity. When a child makes a mistake, this is an opportunity of learning for me and also an opportunity of teaching the child about something. We can see this in Jesus. Whenever someone made a mistake, Jesus made use of the opportunity to teach something higher and nobler about the kingdom of God. Whenever he saw something happening around, he suddenly said, yeah, this is how in the kingdom of my Father. So we can make use of the failures of the children as a teaching opportunity. And effective parents or ineffective parents tend to blame the child or blame themselves for the mistakes of their children. Yeah, first of all, we will blame the children. After some time, we start blaming ourselves. I'm a failure. That's why this happened. That's what I was telling you a while ago. Do not blame yourself. Don't even blame the child. Stop blaming and start taking responsibility. Let us address the issue. That's what is important. Instead of blaming, let us start taking responsibility for the situation and the further growth and development of the child. Ineffective parents burst out and yell at children. Yelling at children does not help at all, except under certain situations and certain times that we will discuss later in the coming session. Yelling, how it is affecting the children and how important it is and how bad it is, we'll look at those things later. So bursting out and yelling is most of the time not going to help. Often have the adverse effect. Often ineffective parents think of a child misbehavior. So think if a child misbehaves, it is because of the lack of parenting skills, and they are a big failure. They become frustrated, they can be depressed, and they lose hope in that parenting process. So now let us focus on the effective parenting. Effective parenting is being and doing two things. It is not just doing certain things. Effective parenting is being and doing. It's very important to remember this part. Being is even more important than doing. Who you are is more important than what you do. You may be doing many things, but then you are a person who is not trustworthy, then your child is going to have difficulty in trusting you. You may say many things, you may do many things, but then what children do? They learn by example. Children learn by example. So being is very important aspect of parenting. So what is effective parenting? Effective parenting is being and doing that which promotes physical, emotional, social, intellectual and spiritual growth of the children. Overall growth of the children, that is parenting. So effective parenting is being and doing what promotes the growth of the children. Emotional, physical, intellectual, spiritual, cognitive, all realms, they should grow. That should be our goal. So doing and being and doing. Now, we need to focus on some of the things that we do as parents. So here we have 4 important styles of parenting. Please pay attention to these 4 styles. You may have come across this sometimes, but then it is good also to refresh our memories in case you have come across this before. There are mainly 4 parenting styles. First one is authoritarian, then permissive parenting, then detached parenting, and authoritative parenting. That is effective parenting. Okay? So 4 styles. First we will look at each of these one by one. Authoritarian parenting, what does it mean? Here they have strict rules for the children. Parents have made strict rules for children. It is established by the parents, and any failure in the observance of the rules will end up in punishment. So in this style of authoritarian parenting, children are expected to follow strict rules established by the parents, and failure to follow such rules will result in punishment. That's what will happen. Authoritarian parents fail to explain the rationale behind these rules. For example, you tell the child, don't play the video game. Why? My friends play this all the time. I said, don't play the video game, that's it. Why? Everybody does it. Then he yells at the child, gets the thing, throws things out. That does not help. Instead, you can tell, my dear child, if you play the video game, okay, it's good, you can play for some time. But suppose you continue to play for hours, what will happen? There is an excess production of the dopamine in your brain, which will hinder the growth of your brain. Your brain is supposed to grow till the age of 25 or 26. And now suppose you watch this, and if there is excessive production of dopamine, it is going to hinder the process of the growth of the brain. You will not grow. At the age of 25, you will look like a 16-year-old. You can't process things rightly because this video game is not going to help you. And there was a research in Japan about in China, about the impact of certain video games. And they produce the video games which generates the maximum amount of dopamine, because that's what is addictive, that's what children want, and that's what will make money. So video game is okay, you can play, but then there's a restriction. So you explain the thing to the child will understand it. Some of them will not, we'll deal with them later. So when you are having this authoritarian parenting, what will happen? The effect is children will obey sometimes because they are afraid. You will punish them. Because of the punishment, the child will obey. But then they are not going to be happy in life. They will lack social competence. They will lack self-esteem. You threaten them, you punish them, you get things done by force. Yeah, they will do it as long as they are afraid and they have no other way. The moment they have enough strength, they will retaliate. So authoritarian parenting is not helpful. Sometimes we have experienced that. Some of us have experienced authoritarian parenting, and now we impose the same thing on our children. That's one tragedy. The victim becomes the perpetrator there. I heard my dad did this to me, so what's the deal? This is how I deal with you. That is not going to help the child. Particularly in this culture, children do not understand that kind of parenting style. They can't understand. Children have come and told me, I can understand what mom is telling, but then the way she tells, I can't take it. Children have told me. So sometimes we have to really reflect on our style of parenting. How do we come across to children? Authoritarian, it's not going to work. Okay, it's going to be a problem. Danger is here. Child will obey at this time, but then this obedience is not out of conviction, but out of fear. They are afraid, so they will obey as long as they are afraid. But there will be a time when they cease to be afraid, then they will retaliate. And these children, they are not happy even later in life. They will have problem with their marriage. What they have received is this. They can't give anything more than that. They can't love, they can share. And anything, suppose a boy was brought up by an authoritarian parent and got married, and whatever the wife says is controlling me. She's controlling me. She's bossing over me. That's the kind of feeling. Ego will kick in. And then it's a problem. The one who is confident in himself will not have this problem. One who is self-confident, even if wife tells something, yeah, let's do it. No problem. It won't be a threat for you. But then what will happen if you are not confident in yourself? Whatever comes, you are threatened and you will be defensive. You want to protect yourself. So that's the danger. So here, ego complex will develop. Another style of parenting is called permissive parenting style. Permissive. Here, the child is the king, the prince. Parents, you are workers. You work for me. You go out, you work, you bring money, you bring the things, you bring food, you cook, you take care of me. I am here. This is a spirited child also. Okay? A spirited child. A spirited child believes that he or she is the center of the world. Everybody else around are for that person. So sometimes we get spirited children, very difficult, very, very challenging. So we are going to look at that later, I said. So here, permissive parents, what they do, they have very few demands on children. Yeah, not much expectation from children. Very lenient, they go like a friend. So very permissive, indulgent, no demands. You do whatever you want. Lot of self-regulation. Rarely discipline the children because, they don't have any expectation. You just do, you grow, no problem. They don't expect of children to be mature or having self-control. So just permitting everything. Whatever children want, they will let them do. That is permissive parenting. And parents are liked at that time because, they are like friend. They don't control me. You want to play, you want to sit and do whatever you want to do, no problem, keep going. They are non-traditional, they are lenient, and they allow a lot of self-regulation. There is no confrontation. So children like them at this time, but later they'll hate, because since you do not guide me and direct me, now I have become this. They will blame you one day. So permissive parenting is not going to be rewarding at the end of the life journey. Towards the end, we'll see what will happen to them. So permissive parents, very nurturing and communicative with their children, often taking on the status of a friend more than that of a parent. We can be very friendly with our children, we need to be, but then sometimes you need to also take the responsibility to be a parent, a father, okay? You don't have to tell them that, but you assume that responsibility. For example, sometimes these permissive parents will say, "Oh, you may play as long as you want, but take care of your studies also, no problem. I'm not going to come there. You do whatever you want." But then children are children. They are not going to take that kind of responsibility at that early age sometimes. Permissive parenting often results in children who are low in happiness and self-regulation. They are not going to be happy. Whatever you give, after some time they'll get fed up. Why there are so many teenage suicide these days? Is it because they don't have enough things? They have too many things, that's why. Because they don't have anything to wait for in life, because they have experienced everything in life. Before they become 14 years old, they have seen the entire life and they have nothing to wait for, nothing to hope for. So what more? It is depressing thought. My life is over at the age of 14. So they sometimes commit suicide. So there are certain things that we need to wait and understand the beauty. So it's a gradual process of unfolding the mysteries of life. So when you don't allow that process, then it happens all on a sudden. And again, I said the pumping of the dopamine, overstimulation, after some time what happens is it cools down. When it cools down, it goes to the pit, down to the level of depression. You get so high with the dopamine. Dopamine is the thing that makes you feel happy. Okay, so you are happy, you are excited, elevated in a manic stage. After some time what will happen? It will come down, cool down, and cooling down, and then it will go from the real level and go down, and then you feel depressed. Then what's the meaning of life? So this permissive parenting will make children depressed sometime after some experience of this excitement. These children will be doing bad at school. There will be school dropout. There is something called vitamin N deficiency. Probably you have heard about that. Vitamin N deficiency is this: they cannot hear the term no in life. They ask for something, yes, take it. You want, Mom, I want to have this, okay, take it. I'm going to watch TV. No, you can't have TV now. What? I can't have TV? Why? They can't take any no. Some children have committed suicide because they were deprived of the TV time. So stop watching TV, go and study. And then they can't take it because they got everything. They are not used to taking no in life. I can't take any no. Everything is yes. Whatever I say, I should get. That's how they grew up. So sometimes we have to train the children to accept no in life too. Everything, whatever they ask, if you give, you are not going to do good to the children. So sometimes we have to tell them, no, this is not possible at this time. And some of the things is not acceptable at this time. They have to learn to accept some no's in life. So permissive parenting is not going to really help children. Uninvolved parenting is the next stage. Uninvolved parenting. Uninvolved parenting means there's no attachment to the children. So they have children. They don't really probably want to have children. They have children, but no communication, no connection, no attachment. totally detached from children. They have no time for children. Yes, most of the cases, what will happen? They will provide the basic necessities for children. You have food, eat and do what you want. Don't bother at all. Permissive parents actually would play with them like a friends, being with them, at least they are there, but then this is even worse than that. Simply neglecting children. In extreme cases, they will also neglect the basic needs of the children. So it is characterized by few demands and low responsiveness. They are not responsive to the needs of the children, and little communication. Don't talk to the children. Do not listen to the children. Often fulfills the child's basic needs, but sometimes even that is not given. Neglect of children. So no time. Father is busy with his own business. Mom is busy with her own business, and children do not get time to spend with the parents. And this is going to have really adverse effect. After some time, they will start getting irritated, annoyed, upset with the parents, and after some time, they just will take this aggression outside. They become very antisocial personalities. They become very aggressive with other people. They can't build relationship. They can't have self-control. They have problem with emotion regulation. Whatever emotion comes, they will just express. Lust comes, they will rape. They want to engage in crimes. All kinds of things can happen because they are neglected. In some cases, they become loners. Loners are people who just close themselves in the room. They don't want to talk to anybody. They don't want to see anybody. Nobody can say anything to them, and they don't want to tell anything to anybody. My computer, my phone, my things, close the door. When I want, I will eat. If I don't want, I won't eat. Don't bother me. Don't come into my room, and don't call me anytime. Don't trust me. Loners. They are just saying, when I needed love, you were not there for me, so now I do not want your love. That's a kind of reaction to their experience of neglect. So when I needed you, you were not there for me. Now why? I have learned how to live my life without you. I don't need anybody now. That's a kind of reaction. So they can become loners. Now, the authoritative parents. This is a fourth parenting style. Authoritative parents. Who are they? The authoritative parents are democratic in approach. That means they sit together. Dad and mom, they talk, they communicate, they talk about children, talk about family, and they are on the same page. And then the child also is there, so there's a kind of give and take. There's a lot of communication. There's a lot of sharing. They decide things together, they do things together, they explain the why of the rules and regulations. Very nurturing and forgiving. Nurturing and forgiving. So here, they establish rules and guidelines. They are not simply left alone. There are rules in the family, There are certain rules, but then these rules are meant for this. They will explain. This is why we have this particular rule. All should come home at 7 o'clock. Why? Because that's the reason. This and this and these are the reasons why I say that you should be here. And when somebody else went beyond, they were in danger. Okay, so explaining things. So authoritative parents are responsive to their children and willing to listen to their questions. Suppose a child makes a mistake. Okay. The person is not going to yell at the child, but then call the child and sit down and say, this is what is, there's a danger. Now you understand, when you went this direction, you end up in this situation. So my dear, let's be careful next time. More accepting the person, though we do not accept the behavior. So when children fail to meet the expectations, these parents are more nurturing and forgiving than punishing. They are assertive, but not intrusive and restrictive. Very assertive, but then not intruding into the privacy too much. But then, of course, there's control. I know one of my classmates, she's a teacher in India. She said, I will take my children's phone sometimes. I don't trust them so completely. I want to see sometimes. At least once a week I go and see their phone and see what they do with their phone. It's not intruding into the privacy. It is a kind of, she has told them, I want to see. Otherwise you will not have phone. So some control is good. Okay, some control is good. They are assertive but not intrusive. If they say, you don't join the party where there's alcohol and drugs involved. Why? Because, there's a danger. Explain the danger to the children. Do not watch pornography. Why? Because this is going to reprogram your brain. It's going to be addictive and it is going to ruin your life in future. You cannot have a normal family life. Suppose you get addicted to this habit. So that's why you should not go in that direction. Explain to the children about the importance of this. Okay? So it reprograms your brain. You do see people as things later. Because anyone that you see on the screen is an object of your pleasure. So you will see also people the same way. You will transfer that learning to the real situation and you become really kind of a lust-filled person. So that's why you should not watch this pornography. Explain to the children why they should not be doing what they should not be doing. That is this one. So their disciplinary methods are supportive and they help their children to be assertive as well as socially responsible and self-regulated, and they are cooperative. Effect: authoritative parenting leads to children who are happy, capable, successful, and self-regulated. So that is the beauty of authoritative parenting. Children who are successful, capable, and self-regulated. I said something about spirited children. We will see next week. Okay. So here, parent-child relationship is very important. We will continue with this parent-child relationship next week. Also, we will, I'll just mention some of the things before we close. Some of the tips to build a parent-child relationship we will share next week. Also, we will see something about, all those things that is Tweens physical development, cognitive development, emotional development, Tweens interests, common habits, all those things we'll see. Then how to deal with the spiritual child we'll see next week. Children rebel against parents and how to deal with that we'll see. The impact of yelling. Okay, these are some of the things that we'll look at in the next session. So we'll have next Sunday session at 4 o'clock, I believe, or 4:15. Father will announce that at the same time. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening. God bless you all.
Thank you, Tamacha, for the wonderful presentation. I think we're running out of time, so we will continue this presentation next week. This time it will be at 4 o'clock, not 4:30, 4 o'clock. Tamacha brought up a lot of good points today. He brought up points about parenting styles, the importance of being over doing, and the wonderful dream that we all have of having a loving family. So let us give all our desires to Christ to allow His grace to flow through and become this wonderful family. And also thank you, Tom Uncle and Shani, for live streaming. And see you all next week. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you very much.